Hi Astrals, let's talk about the NewJeans ADOR lawsuit trial that took place on April 3rd. On April 3rd, 2025, the main lawsuit between NewJeans and ADOR happened. More things after the lawsuit also happened. Let's look at what was said. ADOR refuted NewJeans' claim that they couldn't continue without MHJ, pointing out that the group prepared for and performed at ComplexCon without her. They argued that saying NewJeans cannot exist without her is contradictory, especially when the group managed just fine without MHJ's involvement. ADOR emphasized that MHJ wasn't removed but chose to step down after refusing to stay unless she was reinstated as CEO. ADOR emphasized their substantial financial investment in NewJeans, investing over 30 billion Korean won's $25 million USD in NewJeans' debut and continuing to pay the members over 12 billion Korean won's $18 million USD since October 2023. ADOR also stated that as part of HYBE, they had the resources to find another producer and criticized the group's unilateral contract termination as lacking legal grounds and claimed NewJeans failed to communicate effectively. I agree with ADOR. It's a good point. However, it makes me wonder, how did the girls pull ComplexCon off? This could uncover that MHJ has been involved in NewJeans this whole time, which wouldn't be that surprising. NewJeans had been receiving criticism for still receiving money even during this whole lawsuit, and I'm not surprised. The fact that NewJeans continues receiving money during this legal battle complicates matters, as it's strange to be paid by a company you claim to not support. NewJeans argued that ADOR failed to offer proper alternatives after MHJ's departure and that the company's leadership change caused a breakdown of trust. They criticized the lack of communication regarding the producer change and cited unmet corrective actions as justification for terminating their contract. They also claimed that due to internal changes and differing values, continuing under the new leadership was impossible. The argument about trust breakdown seems weak, as a change in management doesn't automatically destroy trust. Perhaps if NewJeans provided more information on what broke the trust, this would have been a long-lasting point. I also question why NewJeans expected to be informed about producer changes, because they are going to release music either way, so why was there a need to be informed? About their request for actions, it felt more like a demand than a request, as they literally gave a deadline to their own company. ADOR also announced they have made their best measures to all of the 8 corrective actions too. However, the girls prematurely announced their termination before the deadline. Also, NewJeans had requested more time to prepare evidence in response to the injunction outcome, stating they would present it in the main lawsuit. Correct me if I'm wrong, no evidence has been reported as presented yet. So do they have evidence, or do they plan to present it during the hearing in June? Judge Hyung-ho Il acknowledged that the case was unique, as most contract terminations are about unpaid settlements, not abstract concepts like trust. He noted that the trust issue might not justify termination if it's only related to MHJ's absence. While ADOR expressed openness to a settlement, NewJeans declined, citing the members' emotional state was not in a situation where an agreement can be considered at this time. The court scheduled the next hearing for June 5, 2025, where ADOR must present clear producer support plans, and NewJeans must submit more evidence for their termination claim. The judge's point about the subjectivity of trust is valid. I understand why he thinks it could be hard to assess. However, this just means this case will drag on. Clearly, the members are not backing down from this, even though ADOR wishes to. Hopefully, the trial on June 5th will be the last one. Reports claim there was a disagreement between haerin or haerin's parents regarding the contract termination, with ADOR. One parent supported it, the other did not. Since the member is a minor, joint parental consent was needed, prompting a family court meeting. As of April 3rd, the court stated both parents had not reached an agreement, but the lawsuit proceeded under the authority of the parent who supported termination. In response, NewJeans' parents released a joint statement denying any conflict. They affirmed that all 5 members and their families are united in their decision to leave HYBE and take legal action only if all members agree. The statement also clarified that the rumors involving haerin are false and that speculation is causing harm. The parents also claimed the company exploited the members' family affairs for media manipulation. That statement did nothing. If all members' parents agree on the termination, are the parents saying the law firm lied? If haerin's family is supportive, it could be haerin's as reported. I also want to say accusations of media manipulation by HYBE feel off, especially since the court confirmed the disagreement. To me, it's unfortunate that the drama has negatively affected their families. However, This could have been addressed sooner. The parents should have stepped up against it before NewJeans did that live stream. I wish one of the members actually listened to their mother. On April 4th, NewJeans' Instagram account was renamed from @NJZOfficial to @MHDHHFriends, with all posts deleted. The parents' account was renamed to @MHDHHPR with no posts. Some people link this to the articles of one of the parents' disagreements, and it does make sense. However, it could also be a strategy to avoid further damage. Regardless, it feels too late to reverse the situation. It was revealed that the parent who opposed the lawsuit against ADOR was not haerin's but haein's father. This led to a legal dispute between haein's parents over who had the right to represent her in court. Though people pointed to haerin, further investigation confirmed it was haein's family. The disagreement was serious enough to require a family court ruling. On March 14, 2025, the court gave haein's mother full legal custody rights, allowing her to solely represent haein in the lawsuit. Seriously, how did this legal case go from alleged mistreatment to the family court? I honestly feel bad for the father. I also don't know what to feel about the mother. In what way does she think her child will benefit from this? I can't tell if haein had a say in this, but I really want to know what she feels about this. On April 9th, the Seoul Central District Court held a closed hearing on NewJeans' appeal against the injunction preventing them from pursuing independent activities without ADOR's approval. Only legal representatives attended. ADOR stated that nothing significant had changed since the injunction was issued. The court's final decision will be announced later. By the time this video is out, the final decision of the court probably would be announced. However, based on what the legal representative said, it's clear the injunction might not change. I'm not even surprised, but if it changed, it will be a shock. However, I'm curious to what exactly NewJeans offered as evidence. Too bad this hearing was in private. ADOR announced increased legal action to protect NewJeans from malicious comments, false information, privacy violations, and appearance-based hate. They are strengthening their monitoring system, adding staff, and have already filed a complaint with Yongsan Police. ADOR emphasized they will pursue criminal charges for serious or repeated offenses, including deepfakes, and asked fans to continue reporting harmful content through Hybe's official site, thankful for the love and dedication. This is good. It's time that companies step up to protect their artists. I'm sure companies could learn from ADOR and continue this trend of protecting artists. It's just weird that ADOR asked Bunnies, the same fandom that dragged Elite, to report harmful content that is probably no different from what they did. I'm not saying NewJeans deserves hate, but I just find it very ironic, you know? I said this repeatedly throughout the video. It is too late to change. NewJeans can no longer take the peaceful route or play the victim. It's becoming harder for people to believe they're being manipulated by Minhee Jin. The reports only suggest this could turn out like 50-50 situation, and I hope the upcoming trial on June 5th will bring closure. That's all for today. Check out my previous videos on this situation in my channel. What do you think? Share your opinions. Be respectful and civil. See you next time.